What's going on, guys? Today we are going to be talking about fine line tattoos. If you know me, I've been very critical about fine line tattooing, but it's extremely popular. And I think sometimes me talking about it has given off the wrong impression. Okay, I love fine line tattooing. I think it's great. I think a lot of people enjoy it. I think it can be done very well. I just think that the vast majority of people who are doing it badly or poorly or whatever. So I wanted to do a video where I talk about the tattoos I like that are done in this style. So let's jump into it. Very rarely do I like to mention the names, people who do tattoos, but these are healed tattoos from Mikkel_Inc_. And I just gotta say, they look great. They look amazing. Healed tattoos, great job. For fine line, they look nice and delicate.
Healed fine line tattoos. These tattoos were all done by me, and none of them needed touch-ups, which is awesome, and they were all returning clients, which is my favorite because then I get to see all my healed work. And I think as a tattoo artist, you should always be posting your healed work because it's like little receipts.
Look, do I love these tattoos? Do I want them on me? Absolutely not. Honestly, I hate them. I know, but these tattoos are done very well. And the people who want them are going to be very happy with these tattoos in the long run. Now, is it your style? No. I know it's not. I know what you guys want. I know you want cool, bold, gnarly tattoos. But for a large percentage of people, this is what they want tattooed. And these are well executed fine line tattoos. Now, in 10 years, will you consider some of these tattoos fine line? Probably not. They'll get big enough where most people are just like, oh, it looks like a tattoo. But for the meantime, right now, they not only look fine line, but they look great. And in 10 years, they're gonna heal like very nice tattoos. You'll be able to see what they are. They're not too small. You know, some of these lines, maybe I wouldn't do, but also at the same time, they're done well, they're saturated. And for the most part, they're not too close together that in the long run, they'll still make very nice tattoos.
Ever wondered how an artist is able to create such a delicate tattoo? Here, Ozda uses thin line work and subtle shading to replicate the essence and fragility of these flowers. Here's how it turned out.
Okay, the essence of this tattoo is that it's a good tattoo. God, some of these fine line tattooers speak in ways that make me want to not be a tattooer, but just be honest. Let's look past the way they're talking, the way they present on social media. These are very nice tattoos. There's no doubt about it. The lines are solid, they're clean, the saturated, the grays are nice and light to a nice black. This is a good tattoo. There's enough space here that it will last the test of time. And you might be like, well, this isn't the fine line tattooing that I like. And I'm gonna say, but this is fine line tattooing done well. Like I will say, for the girls and men who want this type of tattooing, I think that you are gonna see it becoming kind of like the tramp stamp of today. There's a lot of people who have flowers that are done in this style. It's going to be one of those things that people are like talking about later down the line, kind of like the wolf with the silhouette woods behind it. But let's just be honest, this is good tattooing. I like it. It looks very nice and clean. So, hey, I like it. Okay, now we've all seen this Dr. Wu type of tattooing, this realism, fine line, geometric lines. Now, I'm gonna have to keep saying this because I hate this type of tattoo, but these are well done. I like that part more than I dislike the style. You following me now? And before you guys tell me there's some blowouts here, those are veins. Don't leave in the comments that those are blowouts. Those look like veins. They look like a very white arm, and you could just see the veins are very blue. And probably like the way they edited this video, the filters they used, they look extra blue. Those aren't blowouts, not at least like a blue hazy blowout. Now, I just can get off on how cool and how clean this tattoo is. Do I want it? No. Am I gonna keep saying that? Probably. Because I have to keep reminding you that it's not a tattoo style that I like, but it's a tattoo style I could respect, and this is just a tattoo that I can respect and get down for. The bit on top over the elbow dish, I'm not necessarily sure what that is, and for my own personal taste, I like for tattoos to be very obvious the moment you look at it. If there's subtlety that I have to like kind of like really go and digging for, I don't like it. And because I don't know exactly what that is, I could be like, I don't love it. But let's move past that. The rest of it, the lion, the Caesar, or whatever kind of face that is, looks solid and clean, and I'm just down for it. Good tattooing is good tattooing, and that's what I'm seeing here. Okay, we are gonna talk a little bit about Chicano tattooing because I don't think that most people associate the two, and they see these like fine line flowers and they go, oh my God, it's so feminine, which I'm like, yeah, it is. But it's originally a Chicano thing, and more so, it's really a prison tattoo thing, which is kind of funny how it evolved into this, right? Like, if you were in prison in LA and you needed to make tattoos, you would have gotten a guitar string, which is super thin, like very similar to a single needle tattoo. And that's what you would have been working with in jail. So the shading is really, a lot of it's done with single needles. And they're just like, you go back and over it and do it. And that's where Chicano tattooing came from the prisons in the 60s and 70s. And then it evolved into this fine line tattooing. And these steps were Chicano prison tattoos to then Chicano tattoos done at tattoo shops. Then it was like celebrities who wanted these very fine line, very delicate tattoos so that they could cover it with makeup. And then it just became like people getting tattoos because that's what all the celebrities had. And now we're seeing these things like all over the place. But this is the original place, and this is how you're seeing it tattooed, this fine line Chicano style tattoos. And I am all for this style. This is probably the only fine line style that I actually like, enjoy, would potentially get pieces of. I forget. We also have your kind of like bikery style of tattooing, Greg Irons influenced, and like all of these kind of go into this place where now it's these fine line flower tattoos. Cool, looks cool, I'm into it. That's how it worked. And look at this, like she looks bitchin' on a stomach, super nice, super clean, very Chicano, LA, America, Mexican tattooing. I'm all for it. Got mad love for it. And then we're back to this. Okay, I know. I'm here to tell you how much a good tattoo is a good tattoo, so let me concentrate and focus on a thing I don't love, but it's a good tattoo. A lot of the times when you see people doing these outline fine line tattoos, you see them kind of like etching it, and they kind of like are babying the lines, and they're just kind of blowing it out and ruining it. If you're gonna lay down a fine line tattoo, I think you lay it down the same way you'd lay down any tattoo. One pass, you get in, you get out. That's how you prevent the most amount of blowouts, the most amount of errors, but it scares people. It scares people because they think that they're gonna blow it out, which is pretty easy with a fine line. But if you give the tattoo image enough space and you know that it's gonna age well because of the images you picked, you should be able to do it one pass and go from there. Now, I think this is probably maybe a tight 5, which isn't maybe what we're talking about fine line, but hey, this is what a lot of you as people who want tattoos are gonna end up getting. This type of like semi-fine line, probably not the finest line because most tattooers are like, no, that will look bad and age like crap. And there it is. This is clean, not perfect, nice tattoo, which is what we're going for. So do I like the tattoo? Yes. For what it is, it's a good job. They did a good job. It's gonna be fine. It's gonna heal up probably pretty good. Is it perfect? No, but that's okay. Okay, there you have it. Another clean flower arm piece. Very nice. I love it. You know what I really like about fine line tattooing is that it's bringing a new generation into getting tattooed. Is it my generation? Is it what I like to see in tattooing? Absolutely not. But it's satisfying a need for different types of tattooing to occur, and you're seeing it done really well, and it's bringing a lot of people into tattooing that maybe would be afraid to do it otherwise. Like, this girl has a full sleeve. Bro, you think this girl would have a full sleeve if she was getting like traditional tats? I don't think so. She has a full sleeve. Someone got a tattoo paid a tattooer. And yes, I hate the style, but I love that someone else is getting into this and being happy with it. You know, like she's gonna be stoked forever. So that's just cool to me. Like, get people getting tattooed. And I'd prefer if people were getting good tattoos. So here's another flower tattoo. It's actually really impressive because it's not just a flower, but there's some cover up part. Like, look how happy this lady is. She's about to cry because she has a tattoo on her shoulder that she hates, and now she can see that it's gonna be going away with this fine line type of tattooing, and I'm for it. 2 sessions in, I'm gonna fast forward a little bit. I don't need all this stenciling. Just a word to people who make these types of videos, go faster. Bro, that Sacred Heart, that cover up, so good. Now, obviously there are parts I could probably see that you're gonna leave in the comments like blah, 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 you could see it. But that's a clean tattoo. That sleeve is perfect. That lady is stoked, and they used a lot of blacks, and they did it from the very bottom. Like, all the leaves are very dark, went in knowing that they'd have to do darks because it was the cover up, and they just like did it really well. I am so stoked on this. And even though that cover up started with some laser treatment, which we know, it ended up doing a really good job. And I think that client's gonna be so stoked. Okay, now I talked about it the last time. Dude, a lot of the times these dainty, tiny tats ain't looking that good, and they're falling out pretty quickly. This is an example of some healed tattoos that look great. And I think these customers and these clients are gonna be stoked with. Like, that's the point. It's not about making you happy, it's about making them happy. And it's not about making me happy, which I wish the whole world would just get traditional tats so I could be the most stoked, but they don't all want tratty tatties. So here's some happy clients. Clean, those lines are there. The black is black, I like it, it's a good tattoo. Yeah, okay. So Daniel Sylvia, he's someone I've probably covered in the past. Some good tattooing. Do I like the guy? I don't know, so I can't really say. He was on Ink Master or something. This is just straight up good tattooing. I think a lot of times these fine line people do like really good at some parts of the tattoo that I'm just like, I love that. That looks great. Like the faces, the birds look great. Should have just left that geometric thing there without putting this body in there, because I think that kind of gets lost. But who am I? I'm just a tatter and I don't do this style, so who am I to say? But this is just a solid tattoo. Okay, I think this is the last one I got in me. I think there's only so much of this type of conversation I can have, and it is like this very Chicano style microphone dude hanging with that cholo stance and some things happening. This is a great tattoo. So good. And I think it's good to end off with this tattoo because I think more people need to understand where this style comes from and like the cool history behind fine line tattooing that I think sometimes gets lost because, you know, a lot of us tattooers hate this style, but it comes from a cool place that can't be ignored. And this is a good representation of that type of tattooing. So if you like this video, thank you so much. Like, subscribe. I'll see you in a few days.